Mike just talk a little bit about Big East tournament tomorrow night, DePaul, and in particular as an opponent?
Well, as most people know, it's going to be Rutgers' last Big East tournament, so it's there's special added motivation to try and do something that a lot of people don't think we can do. Our opponent is somebody who, 2.5 weeks ago, pulled out a victory in Chicago. Noteworthy two things with Eli's injury and Miles Mack's one-man spurt that he had against him. And so take a lot, watch the film last night a little bit, hopefully take some of the mistakes we made and correct them. But again, they're #1 scoring team in the Big East, and we have to do a good job of controlling the tempo and taking care of the ball.
You can't look past DePaul, obviously, but when you look at the way the entire bracket shakes out, what were your thoughts on what there is other than DePaul?
Again, it's the Big East. Anybody can win or lose on any given night. It's showed that during the season, but we had a layup with 7 seconds to go at Notre Dame, and Marquette was a nip and tuck affair for to the last 2 minutes where we missed some free throws, made some mistakes. But again, those are the things where you don't get to those games unless you take care of DePaul, and everybody's focus and complete effort is in preparation for DePaul because they're a very talented team.
Does that help though in the sense of kind of motivating your guys that we can make a little run here?
Yeah, again, we talked about believing, we talked about this team, why we do have a sense of a belief and an urgency, because they didn't stop. And you looked at Kevin's postseason guide and reading some of the articles and kind of remembering back. It's just this group continues to fight and continues to improve and hopefully find ways of pulling games out in the last 5 minutes of the game.
What are you expecting out of Wolves? Probably two of his best games of the year.
I don't jinx him, crying like an announcer saying Miles Mack shoots 95. There's no way he can miss it. But Wolves' shooting has been inconsistent in his scoring, and that's something that when he scores for us, we have that. Whether it was Malik yesterday or last game versus Seton Hall with 8. We need those. It may not seem like a big deal, but we need those 8 points. We need those. And Mike certainly has stepped up at Madison Square Garden, and Kadeem and Derek. It's an important place for New York kids. And so hopefully he has the ability to come and put some points on the board and do it efficiently.
Is there any advantage or disadvantage to having the late game? Or is it just...
Played so much at 9 o'clock at night. I hope it's an advantage. I think but DePaul probably has a couple of times as well. So I know we probably had 4 or 5 games over the last 7 that we played at 9 o'clock. So we kind of have our routine down. Our guys are comfortable with that routine. Part of the routine is waking up later, so any college student would tend to be more comfortable with more sleep. But it's the energy, the intensity, the level of demand you have on your details is who's going to win the game.
Do you think your sophomores are a little more ready for a one-and-done atmosphere than last year?
Yeah, certainly. Again, we had a very good first half last year against Villanova.
Right.
Just we laid an egg in the second half, and all of them have the experience. They all have been through a lot, and so they continue to fight and attack their weaknesses. I think these guys are prepared, and more importantly, are excited to prove to people that this season's not finished. And last year just looked like a team full of 7 freshmen who just couldn't believe how hard and long the season was, how draining it could be. And to me, our guys don't seem to be at that point. So hopefully they're more prepared. Thanks, guys.